Welcome to the show, chat. How you all doing? Hopefully you're having a better evening than I am, because in Romania tensions are hot. People are still excited after the elections, and I gotta say the mainstream media did an amazing job at causing absolute chaos in the society. Like, people are absolutely angry at each other. Some people are genuinely upset. Some people are depressed. Other people are rubbing it in. And after 2 weeks, everyone is going to realize that they still have to live with each other. They still have to go to work with each other. They still have families with each other. And the question is going to be, was it all worth it? I'm not saying that elections shouldn't be important, but when the media dials it up to 11 and causes this mass psychosis in the public, uh, many individuals suffer mental health issues. I'm not even kidding. Like, imagine if your parents are arguing with you and then they don't want to see you. Or you have a younger couple not letting grandma see the kids because grandma is voting incorrectly. Is that normal and healthy behavior? Because I'm telling you what, it wasn't in Romania until it was imported here by the West. And I'm absolutely disgusted with it. Hopefully, I won't see it again. After the pandemic, I thought that it's not going to be something used, but here we go. There have been 3 times in Romania where I saw the hysteria. The first one was against Dragnea. The second time was during the pandemic, and now is the third. At this point, the media should be abolished. To me, it's bizarre how we have so many trust and safety policies for social media, stuff that content creators are and aren't allowed to say. Be really careful not to incite harm. When you have an AI, it's being lobotomized. It has guardrails and safety. And then the mainstream media is allowed to dial the rhetoric to 11. Fucking absurd. It is what it is, I just have to accept that this is the way things are, and this is why in South Korea we used to have literal fistfights over politics as way to release the stress of politics. It worked great. I do remember seeing people in South Korea actually beating themselves up in the House of Representatives. There's very few other nations on Earth. I think in Eastern Europe there are also a couple of countries where the politicians beat each other up. There was one where they brought a smoke bomb into the office building and caused mass alarm. Apparently in South Korea that happens as well. Vader did nothing wrong. Oh, people are bitching about Vader still. The Writers Guild, I think, were also mentioning Vader. Let me see. Let me see the thing. SAG-AFTRA has released the following statement. We celebrate the right of our members and their estates to control the use of their digital replicas and welcome the use of new technology to allow new generations to share enjoyment. However, we must protect the right to bargain terms and conditions, use of voice that replace the work of our members, including those who previously did the work of matching Darth Vader iconic rhythm and tone in video games without bargaining with us over appropriate terms. So, in other words, they signed with AI companies without holding a vote after the Hollywood strike to ensure that the writers got money from the AI companies. They're mad they aren't getting a cut. They are trying to bully international companies into forcibly working with them, and they're trying to monopoly all this bullshit. If anyone had the spine, they'd cancel their SAG contracts. What a joke. Yeah, no, I don't know if I have ever seen in human history people that lack talent at an absolute level, but also have this amount of arrogance. I don't know how things are in America. I don't know how things are in the rest of the world, but when I was at various universities, when I worked for a living in a McDonald's, I noticed that arrogance usually comes from people that can back it. Like, even at McDonald's, there's one guy that knows how to make the burgers efficiently. Like he never does any waste. He performs his job admirably to the point where the rest of the team can just click in with him. And that guy is usually arrogant, right? Because he can afford to. Like, he knows he's irreplaceable. Same thing in a hospital. You have a surgeon that's really good. You know, you have a Dr. House. He's arrogant. Why? Because he gets the job done. Usually when you see a talentless person that's arrogant, that's based on nepotism. Like, he's the boss's son, he's the boss's nephew, he's a son piker. But rarely do I see people that are unable to produce anything of value and to have this level of arrogance. No, seriously, like, think about Hollywood, right? Think about the movies that we used to see 2 decades ago, like how excited you were that a new movie is coming out. And try to picture today and tell me, like, is there any movie coming out this year that you're looking forward for it? Like, the only movie that I was looking for was The Terrifier, and I wasn't disappointed. But other than that, there is no AAA production that I want to see. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing hypes me up. And so these people that have absolutely destroyed the entertainment industry, they burned it to the ground, have the audacity now to go like, but what about the voice of Darth Vader? Why aren't we getting a cut? Why aren't we getting royalties? Like, dude, go fuck yourselves. I have no sympathy for them. The faster that the people that hire these individuals go bankrupt, the better it is for humanity. I'm not even exaggerating. Let them get replaced with Chinese. You know, it's like, oh, the AI is replacing us. No, the AI won't replace you. China will. Chinese movies, South Korean films, fully fucking embrace them. You know, a lot of people keep having controversy. Oh my goodness, you're embracing AI. What about real people? Okay, I'm embracing China. Oh no, you can't embrace China. Oh, I see what you're doing. You want me to embrace the Hollywood shit. I've embraced it for too fucking long. I'm sick of it. Fucking sick of it. Thank you for the membership, Nightmare. I appreciate it. Christopher Keating, thank you for the €5. Off topic, but since you've talked about it before, here in France, the law forces porn sites to require ID through a third-party service like Yoti ID. Well, that's pretty much how it's going to start, right? Like, first it's porn sites, then they will be like, hold on a little bit, but what about Google? Right, like the Google search engine can see porn, and they can require ID for that. Twitter allows for porn. You'll need ID to connect to Twitter, Discord. And so the purpose is to make sure that everyone uses digital ID. So that when you're on the computer and you post something political or you have a take, it's monitored, it's logged, they know who you are, they know all of your personal data and information. And so that's pretty much what they're aiming for. I think like it's going to expand. Here's something interesting, right? Like if you genuinely want to know what this is all about, right? Because a lot of people still believe, oh, it's for protecting children. The CEO of Telegram came out and said that the French Secret Service allegedly wanted to talk to him about combating child pornography and terrorism on Telegram. And so obviously he did, right? Like he was interested in the conversation. Apparently the conversation was not about CP, was not about terrorism. It was how do we combat the far right in Ukraine, Moldova, and Romania. And so you get to notice, right? Like that's how the door opens. It's a very sneaky tactic. Because, like, how can you say no to fighting CP online? Like, everyone wants to get rid of that type of stuff, right? But then if the governments benefit on the goodwill of the people, and they're like, okay, well, now that we have access, right? Because, like, how do you combat CP online? Well, through monitoring, right? Okay, well, now if we have access to it, why not expand it to hate speech, far right, political dissidents, so on and so forth. Like, this is the worry that a lot of people have with the ending of internet anonymity. And it's kind of funny because, like, there was this meme 5 years ago with America trying to, like, literally in a store, and you have Uncle Sam selling authoritarianism, and it's like, what do you want me to wrap this in? Protecting children or fighting against terror? And it's such a good tactic. Like, it doesn't need to be replaced because it still works to this day. Slixion doppelganger. The door must be slammed shut. Yeah, but like that's the thing, right? If you slam the door, other people will say, so you're supporting CP. It's a very smart way at framing the package. I don't know how you can fight this. I generally don't know. Because at the same time, like, I would want a world where CP doesn't exist, but if the governments are just going to abuse the power that they're given, and they're going to use it in order to crack down on internet anonymity and free speech and go after political dissidents and shit, yeah. J79, thank you for being a member for 28 months. Nightmare, thank you for the €5. Mind modding the other Nightmare account V. I'm planning to get rid of this one because having 2 accounts is a pain. Of course, just type something in the chat. Here we go. Just say, I know what you are doing. Just answer no. Well, it's pretty much what most people are doing. Still not effective. I mean, the Telegram owner did say that, right? So, the Telegram owner is actually getting in a lot of trouble. His entire business model relies on anonymity. And unfortunately, anonymity will always attract criminals. But it also attracts, legitimate dissidents, journalists, people that are whistleblowers. And so, you can't get rid of anonymity if you want a democracy and a free society. If you want politicians with no accountability, if you want big businesses that don't answer to the public, then of course, you crack down on anonymity. Welcome to the adults table. The fact that someone got upset because I used the word adults table and kids table, I still find it hilarious. I don't know why. Like, did he feel excluded? Huh? Anyway, let me show you guys something interesting. All right, look here. I found this to be absolutely fascinating.
Since you hold there is no consciousness at conception personhood, do you believe a woman should be able to drink and smoke from the earliest point of pregnancy if she doesn't get an abortion?
I would say no, because you're committing harm to a future person.
Whoa. So is it committing harm to a future person to dismember them at 19 weeks?
No, because you're preventing that future person from existing.
To be fair, though, look at the smug face, huh? I wish I could make a smug face like this. Does it help you win debates if you make the smug face? Chat, look at the screen. Can you make the smug face? I can't make the smug face. Like, he's got the professional level at smugness. He's not logically incorrect. Like, if you're going to say... Let's look at his logic, right? Like, let's analyze what he is saying from a purely logical, non-emotional point. Actually, you know what? I know how we can do it. Let's add this to chickens, right? Like, if we separate humans and we're adding it to chickens, we're not emotionally engaged. And we can have the conversation from a logical point of view. If you say that a chicken becomes a chicken after it hatches from the egg, right? Like, that is the statement. That like, we have to take this as a fact. Even if it's not true, we have to take it as a fact because this is the world view that we're analyzing, right? So a chicken becomes a chicken after it hatches from the egg. If you do something to the egg, and then when the chicken hatches, the chicken is sickly, then you're actually hurting the chicken, right? Because after the chicken hatched, you did something to it which caused permanent damage, right? Like, the chicken is going to suffer permanent damage through the life. But if you kill the egg before the chicken hatches, then you do no damage because there is no more chicken. You erase the chicken from history. This is what Destiny is trying to say. It's batshit insane, I know. But I'm trying to understand his logic. I'm trying to see if I can figure out what he is trying to say here. The interesting thing, it's like the question is absolutely correct because the left frames this through not a utilitarian way, but a moral way, right? Like, they're playing the morality thing. And by playing the morality thing, you're basically saying that any person that's against Planned Parenthood and the abortion industry is an immoral person. And of course, leftists want a society filled with moral people. the utilitarian point of view, which is what Europeans would say, right? Which is what most Eastern Europeans would say. Either it's like, look, we tried banning it. It went really nasty. The births didn't go up. Like, the births went up for a little while, but then they went down again. People tried getting it illegally. We had mothers arrested. A lot of angry fathers built around this because their hatred was directed at the politicians and the system, not at their daughters making the mistake. Like, they would view that their daughters made a mistake. And now that the government is persecuting them, all the father rage and pent-up anger was directed towards the government. You had women using clothes hangers, not managing to get successful abortions, and then ending up with pregnancies that had babies with severe mental retardation or physical defects. Romania went actually very close to #1 in Europe with that. And so the argument on abortions in Romania is like, look, we tried it. We tried outlawing it. We did. And the result was that when the revolution happened, the people demanded that the woman who passed the law to ban abortion be shot. Like, they put her up against a wall and they shot her. And a lot of people say, well, hold on a little bit, like, V. She got shot because she was the dictator's wife. It's like, no, because in most situations in human history, the dictator's wife is usually allowed to go into exile, or she is locked up for indefinite. They don't just shoot her, but like the rage that the people experience seeing their daughters or their grandchildren born with malformation, while some of it was actually directed at the women doing the abortion, it shows that human nature, like the way the human brain is wired, the way the emotions are channeled, a lot of that pent-up rage was exactly towards not just the government, but the people that justify the law. And so it created such a level of strife and destruction in social cohesion. And people went, okay, well, maybe even if it's immoral, it's something that happens in the animal kingdom. And not everything that happens in the animal kingdom needs to happen with humans. But in this particular case, in this particular context, look, we tried. We didn't get the right results. So let's come to a middle ground. Let's come to a common sense thing. And I think like in Romania, it's 6 weeks or so. I may be wrong. But I think like the period is around 6 weeks. And so it's not a moral thing. It's a utilitarian thing. It's like, if we don't allow this, bad things happen. Like we tried banning it. We tried getting rid of it. Didn't fucking work. And so we don't have to do these mental loopholes. Is it a human? Is it not? Is it But what would other people think if I say this? But what would happen if I, you know? If I were a woman, I would be sterilized. No way I would let screaming shit machine RAP. If you were a woman, you would probably view it differently. Like your body, your entire mentality would be wired differently. The idea of having a life grow inside you and giving birth is something that most women want. So I don't think you would still think like a man. Look, guys, it's literally impossible to get women to take accountability. I mean, I don't know if it's just about women. It's a family thing, right? Like, if your daughter gets imprisoned and you view it that's unjustly being persecuted because, you know, she's a teenager and she did what teenagers do and now she's in prison, you as a father, I don't know how you will react, but I know how Romanian fathers reacted, and their rage was directed to the government and the people that managed to push for this ruling. It's easy being in your high horse about abortion until it is you in the situation. No, like, I understand. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand that it's a bad thing, but I'm not part of the idea that every single bad thing has to be removed because, again, we tried doing it. Like, in my country, we actually went through the prohibition. It was applied. Everyone through my generation saw the horrors of doing it. Mass hepatitis outbreak, mass HIV outbreak. Abortions happened anyway. There were so many that there weren't enough prisons to arrest all the women, right? And so just because you understand something is bad, you can also understand that it's not practical to crack down on it. Too many resources, public health issue, kids being born with various birth defects. Like you say, oh, if it was you, you'd think it differently. Sure. But like, what if you're in a country where abortion is banned, and then your daughter gets one anyway without your consent, and now you have a grandkid that is being mutilated for life? What do you do then? You know, it's not really like a fair question. It's just an emotional baggage. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe the current system that the Communist Party of Romania introduced was a much better one than the one we currently have. I personally disagree. Here's the thing, though. Despite the fact that abortions are legal in Romania, for some reason, the numbers per capita in my country are very lower compared to America. Why is it? Seriously, why is it? Why are the numbers lower here than they are over there? If teenager daughter does that, there will be a shotgun wedding. Okay, and then you're in prison. And then their family hates you, right? Like their parents now hate you because you took their son. I don't know. Personally, I don't think this causes really good social cohesion. I think simply parenting can avoid a lot of this shit. Like actually raising your kids and parenting them, teaching them about condoms and protection, right? Not being absurd about abstinence. Like not expecting that a 25-year-old is going to maintain abstinence if they're going to marry at 28 because they live in 2025 and they don't live in 1960, you know? But what do I know? I'm just from a country that has like a far lower abortion per capita than other nations. Stop bugging the bad boy. Why do you hate women? It's also interesting. Like, it takes two to tango, you know? I mean, sure, yeah, like, okay, the woman gets pregnant, but like a man impregnated her. I'm not saying don't blame the woman, but like, why is it that no one ever blames the man? I'm the only one that looks at Andrew Tate and I don't like the fact that he's a womanizer. I genuinely don't. Like, I keep saying this. Like, the one thing that bothers me about Andrew Tate as a role model is not the Bugattis. It's not the fact that he's got a porn industry. None of that bothers me really that much. What bothers me is that he's a womanizer and he wants other people to be womanizers too. And it's like, well, see, I don't think that brings happiness. I don't think that brings fulfillment. You hate parenting your kids? I think we all do, though. I kind of dislike it as well. Maybe I will start to like it when he's a little bit older. Like right now, he's 1 year old. It's very frustrating, especially when he cries for unreasonable reasons. Can't communicate. Like, he's always upset. And you feed him, you change the diaper. He's asleep. He drank liquids. Everything is fine, and he's crying. And it's like, why are you crying? You go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, starts crying. It's like, give me a break, I'll be back. Right? So, yeah, I agree. Parenting is not always pleasant. But hopefully it will become more pleasant. Everyone blames Andrew Tate to the point of tediousness. Yeah, because, like, there's no one else, right? Like, I'm pretty sure out there's another Andrew Tate in the making. You know, maybe it's you, Tactical Droid. Maybe one day you are going to start a YouTube channel and you're going to tell men about masculinity, and then you'll become the next Andrew Tate, and also from Romania. Hearing it's men's fault becomes too common. I don't think it's men's fault. I think it's men and women's fault. I think it's two people's fault. To make a kid, you need two people, right? So it's both men's fault and women's fault. I don't think that's incorrect. But it is what it is, you know. Shotgun wedding makes man responsible, his half of his action, and show others responsible. Yeah, good luck doing that in 2025. You don't live in hillbilly land, right? Like, the guy is probably several blocks away into another hood, and maybe he's got like 20 friends and you have 5. Good luck shotgun wedding him. And not to mention, he can also dial 911. And maybe he has a Glock. Why do we assume that he doesn't have a shotgun either? Like, this idea of the shotgun wedding works in tight communities where you know where the guy is, where he lives, and he's younger than you. But let's be honest, he's probably someone from Tinder who's got his homeboys, got a Uzi, got a Switch. Good luck shotgun wedding him. Yeah, this is what they call a bipartisan issue. I agree. In 5 years, you'll miss the things you hate now. That is so fucking deep. I wish I can refute what JDA79 said, but unfortunately I cannot. Because I'm thinking about 2020. And boy, do I not miss having the income and lifestyle that I had back then. And then I think that I'm having it bad now. But I'm pretty sure that, yeah, in 5 years, I'll definitely miss the stuff that I'm having now. Literally. Kids are amazing. Go make babies. I do agree. Kids are really nice. There's a lot of fear-mongering about how much a kid costs. Not really true. At least not until he is 2, right? Like after... I will tell you like something else that boggles my brain, right? So, as you guys know, I'm a father, right? Like I have a child. He's close to becoming 1 year now. His birth date is on 4th of July. I'm not kidding. I got like the American kid. And I'll tell him not to travel to America. Can you imagine like having your birthday on the 4th of July? No one gives a shit. And anyway, right. So you realize that if your wife can breastfeed, and in most cases they can, the only thing you need to buy are nappies. And those aren't that expensive nowadays. Like maybe $20, $40 a month, right? You get nappies. You get some clothing. It's not that expensive. You get it made in China, right? You can get some cheap baby clothing. And then you also have a small baby carriage. So you can, go out and make sure that he enjoys the sun. And that's pretty much it, right? Like, unless he gets sick. But overwhelmingly, having a cat, I'm not even kidding, having a cat was more expensive than having a baby up until now, right? Like, having a cat costed me way more. Like, I had to pay cat food, I had to pay cat litter, I had to pay visits to the vet, I had to pay to take it to the barber and make sure that the cat fur is being trimmed. All of that was very expensive. Having a baby is cheaper, right? At least the first 2 years. But then I noticed my neighbors. My neighbors too have a baby. They got a daughter. They brought Gucci clothes, like someone in the chat said. Not Gucci, but like brand clothes for the baby. And I'm like, why would you buy Bigotti clothes for the baby? I didn't even know they make baby clothes. Bigotti. It's like, what the fuck? Why are you buying Bigotti brand clothes? It's a fucking baby. It's not going out to pick up chicks, right? It's not going out in a bar to seduce people. It's staying in house. It's less than 1 year old. It can't even fucking move, right? Why are you buying brand clothes? It bought like the most expensive baby carriage imaginable. And I'm like, well, hold on a little bit. Why would you buy the most expensive baby carriage on the market? Like I got one that's functional, and if it breaks, I buy a new one. But like the one that I bought was secondhand, and it works like a fucking charm. Never had an issue with it. There's no function that I'm saying, oh, I wish it had this. No. And so what I noticed is that there are a lot of people that genuinely like wasting money, and then they bitch about the fact that they don't have enough money for the kid. And so when they say, oh, babies are expensive, yeah, they probably are if you buy Bigotti clothes, if you send them to like the most expensive kindergarten in the fucking universe, if you buy the most expensive baby carriage that money can buy. And the worst part, they don't even enjoy this. Like, I would understand, if your kid is 6 years old and now he starts to appreciate and understand life a little bit more, and you buy an expensive toy and he actually plays with it. But if I buy my baby an expensive toy, he throws it away and plays with the toilet paper. Why? I don't fucking know. He's got a fascination towards that role. He really enjoys playing with toilet paper. It's like, okay. And so I end up buying like a $200 toy, ignores it completely, and then takes a napkin and plays with it for hours. And so, like, why are you spending all your money on expensive shit when the kid himself doesn't enjoy it? No one enjoys it. Like Bigotti brand clothes. The kid is horrified when you dress him up. Doesn't know what's happening. Starts crying. Doesn't know why you're keeping him in place so you can put the shirt on him. It's like the idea of getting stylish clothes for the baby is the most posh thing that I have ever seen. Literally, yeah, middle class status spending. But like the thing is, like, other people don't notice. Like, do you think if they wouldn't have bragged that they got bigotti clothes, I would have noticed? No. Daycare is also very expensive. Yeah, okay, let's talk about daycare, right? Why don't you take him to something functional? Like, if you take him to the best daycare in the fucking world, most prestigious daycare in the universe, do you think it's actually going to jumpstart his education? I don't fucking think so. As a doctor, I think that the only thing the kid needs is interaction with other kids. That's it. You know? Unless the place is incredibly dirty or infested with fleas or something, if your kid is 2 to 5 years old, doesn't fucking matter. As long as there's other kids and he's not being mistreated by the supervisors, the teacher, you don't need to take him to an expensive daycare. Oh, when he starts the schooling system, right? Like when he gets into school and you want to take him to a prestigious school in order to learn the ABCs and the LGBTs, that's a different thing, sure. But like when it's about daycare or kindergarten, just take the cheaper option. Trust my advice, right? Like save money for an expensive school and send him to the cheaper option because he's not going to notice any difference. Like at that age, all kids are the same. Unless they have like a health hazard, you know, like they have kids with fleas, with lice, you know, people that are abusing kids or something like that, then yeah, don't send them there, right? If there's rumors of that stuff happening. But other than that, just send them to any daycare whatsoever, you know, it doesn't fucking matter. All babies need to learn their LGBTs, yes, and their anti-racist thing. It doesn't have to be the most expensive to be super expensive. The cheap daycare is expensive. Is it though? I'll see. I haven't gotten to that part. If the cheap daycare is expensive, then send him to grandma. That's always an option, right? Like your kids have grandparents. Grandparents are old. They have nothing left to do. Go enjoy that. My parents obsessively hunted for the best schools. Now I'm a nerd. Yeah. I'm not against sending kids to the best schools. Like that can actually be a good thing. But there is a difference between that and an obsession. You know, when you start with the kindergarten, with the daycare, it's like, what is the best kindergarten on earth? It's like, come on. You need to, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't spend money, but you need to have, like, a little bit of common sense, right? Like, understand the utilitarian of the thing. If it's a prestigious school, yeah, okay, like, that may actually help. But at kindergarten level, the only thing kids need to do is to play and to meet with other kids. Since when carrying a kid is very expensive? I don't fucking know. Like, people in medieval times did it, right? If someone in medieval society, which had far less than I do, managed to have 6 or 7 kids, what the fuck is my excuse? Imagine if your boomer grandparents actually help you. What a nice fantasy. Best school at what to indoctrinate? It depends, right? Some schools actually try to teach critical thinking. And if you have those, then go for that. You know, everything that has to do with math, science, like stay away from the humanities and you'll be fine. All my kids were raised by both set of grandparents and mother and taught them how to speak, write, and other stuff very early as a result. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about cancer. I need to be very careful how I treat this subject because I might be canceled. And it's kind of unfortunate because as a Romanian, we have a culture of dark jokes and gallows humor. And I need to be absolutely sure that I don't crack any of them here. I need to be respectful. Because in a way, I generally, like seriously, as you guys may have heard, Biden has cancer, right? And so I don't want to make fun of him. because my mom had cancer. You know, it is what it is. Like, I'm pretty sure he was a very corrupt individual, did bad things to good people, as most American presidents do, often. But I can still dislike the man. I can still make fun of him. Just not about cancer. You know, like, this is just off the table for decorum purposes and karma purposes as well. Like, Orthodox people in my country believe that what goes around comes around, you know? Like Total Biscuit. He told someone that he hopes they get cancer, and then Total Biscuit got cancer, right? Ever since that happened, I'm a little bit more chill. But let's listen to this, right? This was from 2 years ago. And this is what Biden said.
It was a 4-lane highway that was accessible. My mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? It had to put on their windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
So basically, if you didn't hear what he said, I don't fucking know if the mic is working or not. He says that his city was very polluted. There was a lot of oil there, and this is why himself and other people have cancer, right? And this was 2 years ago. Now the interesting part is that they were trying to throw this on the fact that he has dementia, right? So like, oh, well, sometimes the president gaffes, sometimes the president says stupid things. And this to me shows two important things. Number one, the extent that the mainstream media gaslights. Gaslighting is a tactic that happens in a toxic relationship where one of the spouses is the abuser, right? So basically the mainstream media, unironically, is abusing the people. You are being abused when you are watching CNN, MSNBC, all these other stations. They're basically telling you, like, no, what you saw isn't true. We got fact checkers, we got experts. And if you keep talking about what you said, you're going to get banned and censored off social media. So this is the shocking thing, because like most people knew that Biden has cancer. It was when he actually allowed Kamala Harris to become the first woman president in the United States. For those of you that forgot, Biden actually did have the biopsy. And when the biopsy happened, he was not fit to be the president while he's under anesthesia. And Kamala Harris basically took all of the presidential roles. And a lot of people were like, well, hold on a little bit. Like, why is he taking a biopsy? And some people said, well, maybe it's cancer. But other people said, no, it's just a checkup. It's like, really? I mean, for normal people, yes. Okay, like for normal people at that age, you would take a checkup. But when you're the president of the United States, most people avoid taking the checkup. They either do the checkup 4 years earlier, or they do the checkup after they finish the presidency, never during. Right? Like other presidents that are as old as Biden did not take a checkup during their time serving in office. And so, most people were suspecting. And then Joe Biden comes out and drops the bomb, and he says he's got cancer. The mainstream media gaslights, say, no, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's the first thing that I got, the gaslighting. The second thing that I got, and this one is really interesting, is the fact that at least it's perceived, and I don't know if it's perceived, but I think it's also true, Americans do not like honesty. American morality does not champion people who are honest. In fact, it's actively discouraged. So they do not want a president that admits of having cancer. It's something that can happen to anyone, can happen to our family members. Many of us are going to die of cancer. It's usually a disease that happens when you grow old. But for some reason, you're not allowed to say it because the president needs to be powerful. And so reality be damned, right? If you want the president to be powerful, and that means that he shouldn't have any type of illness, anything, right? You're not going to get a human being. You're going to get an actor. You're going to get someone that fakes it. That's what you're going to get. And this is what Western morality champions fakeness, performance, theater. And I don't know why people keep putting up with it. Why don't people just break the chains and say, fuck it? Kind of reminds me about the Rage comics. Do you guys remember Rage comics online? It used to be a time period before 2016. Well, no, actually 2016, 2018, right? You had 9gag and Rage comics and Rage memes. And those were about people sharing their vulnerability with the internet. Like most of Rage comics were done specifically, to show something that people do in their private time that's embarrassing or humiliating, just to find out that, no, actually what you do, everyone else does. And that's what happens because there were honesty, right? Unfortunately, Rage comics were crushed because it happened that the people that were displaying honesty were being attacked, mocked, and ridiculed. And so now we have the soy memes, right? The soy jacks. And the soy jacks are all about peak irony, self-deprecating others. The humor is never to the person that posts it. It's never to the one that makes the meme. It's always outside, right? Like demeaning others to make ourselves look good. And unfortunately, this is the morality that surrounds us. Hopefully, it will change because I find it absolutely disgusting. One part of me thinks, though, it's a matter of national security to not let foreign powers know that the president is ill. But mainstream media is too greedy to actually care about the nation. How would it affect it, though? Like, I get what you're saying, right? Like, don't let... But, like, how would it affect? It's like, okay, the president is ill. And? So what? Like, he's got cancer, but he's still lucid, right? Assuming he's not Biden. Like, he can still order a nuclear strike. And if something happens to the president, you have the vice president. Yeah, do you know why I don't buy it? I'll tell you why. Because the president is very weak every 4 years. Like, during the inauguration event, after a new president is elected, you have 1 month or so where the president is pretty much just a lame duck, and he has more of a symbolic role rather than a functional one. And so, by this logic, that is the time where a lot of nations can try shit. But, like, usually, I don't think, like, nations make their geopolitical strategy based on, let's see when the U.S. president happens to be weak. Because I don't think it's a winning argument, right? Because, like, if the president is too weak, and let's say a war kicks off. Let's say China invades Taiwan, right? Like, Joe Biden has cancer. China finds out that it's like, the moment is upon us. Now is the time. Set the Armada. Let's unify the motherland. Well, Joe Biden just steps down. The vice president becomes acting president. There you fucking go. It's like problem solved, Not to mention the generals themselves are usually the ones that actually conduct operations. Unless it's a major decision, the president rubber stamp shit anyway. Like, let me put it this way, right? Let's say that you are the acting president, right? Like, you managed to win and become the president of the United States of America. Do you know anything about warfare? Seriously, like, do you understand modern warfare? Because I don't fucking know, right? Like if there's an invasion in Taiwan and your generals are putting on a plan of operation on your table, do you know if it's useful or not? Like, you already have advisors, right? Like, you already have generals that tell you the stuff. You're probably going to rubber stamp it. Unless it's a major decision, right? Unless it's something like, do we drop a nuke? Or do we burn down this city? Do we commit some atrocities? Unless it's something like that. I don't think, like, most presidents know. They may know something like, where's our aircraft carriers at? And they're like, okay, we got an aircraft carrier in this part of the world. Well, in this part, can we move this one here, right? Can we deploy this aircraft carrier? They may make, like, those types of decisions. They may replace a general that's not performing very well. But the idea that you have, like, the president just playing StarCraft and conducting every single unit on the ground, No, that's not how it works. And by the way, that's not how it should work. Like, that would be catastrophic. He's the commander-in-chief, yes. Like, legally speaking, yes. But de facto, practically speaking, the war will happen around him. And this is true for most of history in modern war. Like, think about it. It's impossible, right? Like, unless you're a person that served in the military and actually understand how the military works and functions, you're going to be overwhelmed. Like, modern warfare is about logistics, satellites, ground forces, aircraft forces, naval forces, infantry, marines, artillery, everything else. And on top of that, you also have the nation to govern, right? Like, you have political strife, political intern bullshit. You need to fix the economy at home. You need to make decisions for the... Like you would literally not have time. So what happens is that the president just ran rubber stamp stuff, right? Now, of course, yeah, he is the commander-in-chief. Like, if something happens and he says no, it doesn't go through. You can veto stuff, right? Like, if the army tries to do an atrocity, let's say they're killing civilians or something, and you say, like, not on my watch, we don't do that. Or you don't want to authorize the use of chemical weapons or some shit. Okay, you can do that. But if you're expected to, like, actually lead campaigns, no one is expecting you to do that, because you probably can't. I know not of war. The Pakistani people are a peaceful people. I got a message from someone. Not gonna check it. I'm going to be a rebel about it. Could the United States even manage a Berlin airlift today? It's a good question. Back then they managed because they were fresh out of a war. And they had a lot of planes, and the entire industry was dedicated for that. I think they could, actually. Yeah, I think the United States today could manage a Berlin airlift, but very difficult. Like, they would have to pull away from other theaters of war, because the United States is now spread a lot more than it used to be back then. It's got a lot more personnel, a lot more equipment than other parts of the world. So they would have to pull a little bit back, and they could do it, yeah. Sir, our troops went on a peaceful massacre in a village. Based, let's make sure we can win this war. We don't have to be held accountable. You joke, but like, let's look at history, right? Like the Katyn massacre. So the Katyn massacre happened in World War II. For those of you that don't know history, the Polish people were occupied by the Soviets and the Nazis. And a lot of Soviets, they formed resistance groups, resistance cells, in order to fight against their Nazi occupiers. Now, when the Soviets came to liberate them, they realized that these resistance cells that fought against the Nazis can also be used to fight against their occupation. And so they committed an atrocity, which was obviously authorized by the Soviet command, to execute all of these Polish officers that partook into the resistance fighting cells. And then they blamed this atrocity on the Nazis at Nuremberg. Recently, however, the KGB files were revealed, and it turns out that, yes, like, this was an atrocity authorized by the president. And so there have been a lot of cases, like napalming in Vietnam and shit, right? Like, there have been atrocities that, yeah, like the president of the United States or any other major country, when conducting war operations, is informed. Usually in writing, sometimes behind closed doors, and it's like, okay, look, we can do this, this is the result, right? Like, this type of thinking isn't about, is it moral or not? It's like, is it useful or not? Like, what are the results? What are we hoping to accomplish? By terrorizing the population, they may surrender. For example, the bombings of Dresden, World War II, right? Like, Churchill is informed, and it's like, okay, we can bomb Dresden. And it's like, but war crime. Doesn't matter, bomb Dresden. He bombed Dresden, right? And then Hitler is also informed. Like, bomb London. It's like, but war crime. Yeah, but they did it first. And so you gotta stop thinking that politics is always based on morality, that leaders always care about doing the right thing. No, most of the time, leaders are like, is it useful? And what do we gain from it? Like, if we do this, what is the likely outcome? What is the backlash? Can we hide it? Can we make sure that no one finds out about it, right? There may be financial interest. There may be like just cynical pragmatism. It's like we do this, we demoralize the enemy, lower their will to fight, so on and so forth. Yeah, this is pretty much how nations actually do politics, because you gotta understand, if you're a big nation, like if you're the United States, there's no overarching government authority. Like, no one can drag you responsible unless it's your people. And your people drag you responsible only if they find out. The right thing only matters if you win. Sometimes you can win. I mean, the Soviets did one. And then it turns out that people were still upset about that massacre. Which is very interesting. You know, like the Soviets pinned the massacre on the Nazis. And you're like, well, why would they do that? You know, why would the Soviets pin them on the Nazis? And it was at Nuremberg, and people believed it for quite a while. And it's so upsetting. It's so shocking, you know, because the communists, especially in the international community, they were very honest and upfront. Well, except with Chernobyl, right? But, okay, like two things happened, but, you know, everything else that the Soviets pinned on the Nazis, everything else was true and accurate. And they had no agenda, right? And so to me, it's shocking that they didn't just admit on the massacre. Christopher Kirig, thank you for the €5. Rejoice not at the death of the enemy, knowing that we all die, and I'm not willing that others should rejoice at our death. That's a Bible quote. You know, I was actually wondering about this, about the concept of eternal life, and I just realized that eternal life itself is hell. It's like, imagine living, even if it's in heaven, right? And you're living for like 1 billion years, and after you finish living for 1 billion years, there's another billion after that, and another, you never die, you're eternal, forever alive, forever unable to, you know? It's, is that really heaven? Or do you go insane? Like, you would have no purpose. It stretches for perpetuity. You say you want to live forever, but I don't think you do. I think like after a while, after the first 600 years, you go mad. Maybe I'm wrong, you know? Maybe it's not the way it's going to be, but still. You will go normal after going insane in cycles. It's a good life. I don't know. I generally don't. The problem is your memory. What if you relived your life forever? Without memory that this is happening. Yeah, I guess if you don't have memory. But then you're robbed of purpose, aren't you? Like, if you're constantly getting memory wiped, then what's the fucking point? It's just fucking weird, right? Yeah, I guess it's right? Like, it depends on your perception you have on time. But, like, at the end of the day, infinity doesn't really matter about your perception. Like, if you perceive time differently, and infinity, whether you perceive time fast or slow, infinity doesn't care. The only thing that's like, do you forget your experiences? And if you forget your experiences, then again, like, what's the point? Valid, but you'll never tell your wife you don't want to live with her forever? You can, but you gotta frame it differently, right? Like, women care about emotions. You can't put it like that. You say something like, I wouldn't want to live in a world without you. So, like, my greatest wish is that when we go together. See? It's actually the Legends of Olympus. When Zeus goes in a village and he's treated nicely by a couple. And the only wish the couple has is that when we die of old age, we want to die together. Don't get the pain of one of us living without the other. And there you fucking go, right? Imagine how trees experience time. That's an interesting question. The answer is, like, other sentient creatures. Well, not like other sentient creatures. Other life forms experience reality way different than we do. So like when we try to explain how a tree experiences things, we try to think about it from a human perspective. But we don't have no idea how a tree experiences stuff. Even when it comes to an animal, like for instance a frog, right? A frog has a different way of perceiving time. So when you see a fly buzzing around you really fast, a fly just sees a frog just sees the fly like a balloon moving very slowly, which adds a lot more chaos to when you think about like what happens when a car squishes a frog, right? Like for us it happens in an instant. For the frog it probably takes 20 minutes. It's harrowing when you think about it. Like the animal kingdom is really fucked up. Pope and Trump will be offed by the Eurasianist. Is the Pope meeting Donald Trump? That will be interesting. Trees are not sentient. Well, they're not sentient in the way we are, right? Like they can't think. But they must feel something, right? Like they do exist. So like their existence, the thing that they experience, we don't know how that's like. Because they're not like a rock, you know? A rock just doesn't feel, doesn't exist. But like a tree, if you look at a tree, if you, well, not necessarily a tree, right? Like do this experiment. Put a camera in front of a plant and leave it like that for a week. And then if you take the camera and you put it in fast motion, you will see that the plant actually moves and twists and tries to get to the light, right? Like if there's a light source and the plant can't reach it, it reorients itself, it goes towards the light. It's like there's actual movement over there. And so it is a living organism. And you realize just how living it is when you play it in fast motion. What does that living organism experiences? I don't know. But I don't think it's like a rock. I don't think it's like just completely dark, not understanding anything around it. Not definitely not like a human. Like it can't think, probably has no idea of self. But I do think it experiences something. We are making the vegans upset. Plants are not people. They don't have feelings. Oh my god. The Pope is going to host the Trump-Putin talks. Is the Pope going to be in the room? Why is Vladimir Putin allowing the Pope? Vladimir is Orthodox. Like, shouldn't the Patriarch be the one hosting it? Counter-argument is that intelligence itself is a chemical reaction. It is true, yes. Like, intelligence is the synapse that happens between your neurons. If you have no electricity in your body, you have no intelligence. It's a lot more complex. It's not just a electrical reaction, but it is like the cornerstone. Like it's definitely necessary for intelligence to happen. Why would they care about what the Catholic Pope says? I don't know. If he makes a good point, he may care, but it's just weird, right? Like you have a new Pope, and all of a sudden the Russian president, who's an Orthodox, and Donald Trump, who I think is a Protestant, right? Am I wrong? Like they're both going to a Catholic Pope. Okay. I guess it's good for the optics, right? Like I guess it's good for the PR. Everyone benefits. The Pope benefits. Donald Trump benefits. Putin is probably the only one that doesn't benefit. I don't even know why the fuck he's there. Anyway, chat, thank you for watching. I need to go and make more videos now on my other channels. Thank you for the donations. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.